Hey, it's Carol. I'm back with another story about rapidly earning more. This year in Dent2X Income Accelerator, we started something new. It's called our follow along level. So ordinarily in Dent2X, you need at least 20,000 a year in current or projected freelance writing income to get into the program. And I had a different, shorter program for writers who were earning under that amount. And this year, for the first time, we brought those lower earning writers into Dent2X in this follow along level, where they got Slack coaching and all the materials, masterminds, support time, everything else in the program they got. And I was curious to see whether they could use that to rapidly grow their income. And the answer was a resounding yes. And I have one student with some tips for you on how to get over the hump if you're really struggling. You're only earning $5, $10, $15,000. How to move up and start really building it into a business. Thanks to my dog for the guest appearance there. All right, take a listen. Hey, it's Carol, and I'm here with one of my more than 2X in 4 months flat Dent2X students, Georgie Smith. And I want to say that I loved what happened with you super extra much because you took on a niche that I have really never seen a freelance writer have a lot of success in. And you did what we teach you to do, which is to hunt around in that niche until you find the money.
Exactly.
So Georgie is a farmer, and ag is what she knows. And I was like, boy, I don't know, because we've had a lot of negative stories with students banging their heads against that wall. And so talk about a little bit about how you focused in and what you found that worked for you.
Well, I think I remember that first, like, ooh, not ag, which, conversation. And I totally, kind of understood what that meant, because most farmers don't really, they like to kick tires, so how do you sell them any written or content for that? But I started just researching, and really a lot of it happened when I went on LinkedIn, and I started putting in hashtags and researching things. And I discovered, things that I knew that were going on in ag, but because I had been farming and my head was so just in what I was doing, I wasn't really looking at the big picture. But I learned that there's so many things and huge money being poured into ag in like farm tech, vertical farming, this whole thing with hemp, which I had read about and sort of thought about with my farm. And then I started reading more about how much money on all angles was being put into hemp. That, and then a huge amount of push right now with climate change related to farming, the carbon farming, and like General Mills is jumping in on that, and these huge companies getting big startup money. So I was sort of like, my eyes sort of went, whoa.
So like you followed the money.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. And I still am, and so but I realized, no, I wasn't going to be able to sell, content to tractor dealerships. That wasn't going to be where I was going to go. But yeah,
right.
The money. Yeah.
And so you came into 2X, you had like one part-time editing job. You were getting maybe $500-$600 a month. And you were a follow-along student, one of the students that we let in below the 20K a year cut. And so you worked with Angie and in Slack on your one-on-one coaching and all. And so talk about what has happened since and how you made it happen.
Oh, well, I think for me, the LinkedIn has been huge. So I didn't have any, there's two things that happened. First of all, I reached out to my network of people that I know in ag. And so I just said, hey, I'm writing. And like right away, I got 2 clients from just people I know, like I've known for years. And they're like, oh my God, Georgie, we need help. And I really had no idea what I was doing. So, but it was great. They hired me. And because I was asking you for, like what rates, I didn't get high, I'm getting paid about $150 a blog post, which still for a first time, that's great.
Very
like,
nice.
I'm seeing, I know, right?
Yeah. For out of the gate.
Yeah.
And so this is like month 3, 2X stuff.
Yeah.
Low hanging fruit marketing. Though you had been doing it before month 3, as I recall.
Yeah. Before that happened sort of before. So Yeah. So I started with sort of them, and that was great because it gave me clips. Because I was a journalist, but it was literally like before the internet happened. So I discovered that all my clips were on microfiche, and I was like, ah. So
Right.
I had no clips, but that started giving me clips. So then I got on LinkedIn, which I had been on LinkedIn before, but had literally like never done anything on. And so I got on LinkedIn and I followed all the LinkedIn advice, to optimize my LinkedIn and then to start posting. And I think and one of the huge things for me that was sort of like a mind shift was when I started realizing I need to like make posts that are, sort of like my opinion about these things. So I started posting things related to ag, but with like my sort of opinions about them. And that was sort of like how some of my post articles were better received than others, but sort of the same thing. And that's what really started generating a lot of reactions, and then I started getting a ton of people just friending me, and so I went from 230, I think, when I started, to now I'm like 1,020, and so
In
that's been like,
connections.
yeah, in connection. So that's been since May, and so then at the same time, it's just been working on my website and trying to get that up, which I just finally got
And
launched.
you got a client, right? You got a
Yes,
nibble immediately.
right
I love
away.
it.
So I really have done, most of my work has been just inbound marketing. And I have done a few, like definitely on LinkedIn, like people, like a few where I friended them or they friended me and I've said, hey, do you need help? And then that's turned anything. And I also went to a conference, and that was another one.
Yes, I'm glad you
Yeah.
bring that up. Yeah, you got your Fanny over to a conference
Yes.
and met
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, that was about hemp, and I went to Portland, and I got invited by and again through LinkedIn, I got invited specifically by the organization that was putting it on because they were looking for more press people, and so they reached out to me, and then they have actually they keep talking about hiring me for them, but they're not
Hey,
quite there yet. Yeah,
cool.
maybe we'll see. They keep,
That
they're
could be
sort of
fun.
like starting, but they've passed me quite a few clients. And
Nice.
yeah, and they did give me. I did do one roundup article on the conference that they promoted, and so that they passed that all around amongst all the hemp people, and so that's been really good. And I met a lot of people there that I'm still following up with all those cards and those contacts
Right.
actually.
And
And I have
so the organization, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
no,
The
that's right.
organization um, reached out to you because of your content marketing on LinkedIn is how
Yeah,
they connected
so
to
yeah,
you. So
yeah,
then that led
exactly.
to getting to go to a conference and them sharing content
Mhm.
that you created and
Yeah.
passing you leads.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
power friend
Yeah,
you
right?
have.
I know. Well, I can't say enough about LinkedIn. That's just been like really good for me.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't say enough about getting to physical conferences because it's just a chance to get so many contacts
Yeah.
at once, and so few writers really
Yeah.
get out of the house and go do it. And
Well, it was
it
great.
works.
I like talking to people. I think maybe it was because I was a journalist before. I like really enjoy like hearing all the stories. And I sat in all those conferences, and I came away, and I still have some of those on my story list, like so many different ideas of things to write about,
Yeah,
and sources too for things. So which
sure.
I'm doing. I actually have several on my pitch clinic I'm following up from because I remember them as sources from there for different articles I'm doing now. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just like you just get so many forms of help.
Yeah,
You
you
get a
really
bunch of
do.
leads, you make new friends, they might refer you, you get sources. If you're pitching editorially,
Yeah.
conferences are just like the best place to soak up so many ideas and
Yeah, and I'm just very I guess I know a lot of writers do struggle with being shy, and that I guess has not been me. But
that's not me either.
I know, right?
But
I it's not because and it's not because I want to talk about me. I'm just very interested in what they're doing,
I
Like
know,
what is your story?
I'm interested in
Yeah.
people. I like
Yeah.
meeting people. Like
Yeah, what's their story? What are you doing? Oh, wow, that's cool. And so
I
that's
like meeting
usually,
people. Yeah.
yeah, and that's usually how it happens, for me. I just like, who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you here? And then I hear something interesting, and then they
Yeah.
sometimes hire me. You know? So,
Yeah. And so talk about where your income is at now versus the start of 2X?
So right now, so I was about $500 a month, and then I got that big client for a while, who then for several months there, they were sort of like an anchor client, and I had about 3 months where I was bringing in between 4,200 and 5,000 a month with them, and then for reasons that are going on in the hemp industry, they went away. I was all paid, so thank you to. That was because I read your contracts, and I was like, well, we're going to do this on retainer. So they paid me before I wrote.
You structured the deal, and you got paid, even if everyone else associated with the business,
and there was many people that did not. Yeah. So I feel very lucky, and I got a lot of great clips out of it too, which I have since PDF saved. so in case that goes away.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
And so you learned a lot about rights. We talked about getting $150 a post, and I feel like you were always one of the people coming on the Slack. What should I charge? What should I charge? Here's the whole story of this client, and getting pricing help. And, what kind of rates would you have asked for? Like, I off the street without.
I had no idea, because I didn't do, I literally went from farming to what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Let me Google, there's Carol Tice, she's in Seattle. And so I didn't even know really what the content mills were, other than I kept seeing these weird ads with the guy in the hammock. I'm like, wait a minute, what's that?
But you had the journalism background.
Yeah, I did have the journalism background. Of course, I didn't make any money when I was a journalist either, so I think just the idea, right. Yeah. I think the idea that I think it was literally reading some of your stuff, and the stories, no, you can actually make. I think the first time I saw somebody say they made 6 figures, I was like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like the first time you have an $8,000 month.
I know, right? And the fact that I did go up literally within 4 months to 5,000. I've come down since they've gone away, but I'm just right now I'm probably at about I think right now I booked about 2,000, and I have one more client that's about ready to book, and I just talked to 2 more that are talking to me. So, I think, my goal, I sort of set myself a through the end of this year sort of goal to sort of build this up. I knew I needed a website and the network and the clips and understand what I'm doing. So I sort of set myself trying, a goal to trying to do at least 3,000 a month through the end. And then hopefully by next year, be able to double or, even more than that was my idea.
So just, what is that? I
well,
can do quick math, 4 to 5x or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Started, and it's only month 4.
Yeah, no,
you're still in this program as a student, still learning.
No, and it's just, I think to me, the amazing thing is just to realize that there are people out there that want to hire me. And my particular expertise, I think I posted on the other day, I just talked to this guy. He found me through LinkedIn. He connected with me. I saw that he was an ag software company, working in cannabis and farm tech, creating software for greenhouses. And I am not a software techie person at all.
Right.
And and so, but I just messaged him back and I said, hey, do you need content help? And he said yes. And then we set up a phone call, and he basically had already hired me before we even talked. He was like, he was like,
when can I get the first post?
I know. He was like, you're exactly what we need, because we need to be able to advertise this to people that are you that are farmers that don't really understand this. And
you were the end client.
I know,
so
exactly.
You know how to write to the audience.
Yeah.
Even though you aren't a techie.
No.
You'll be able to translate that so their audience understands it.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people don't understand how much call there is for that.
Yeah.
For being the person who translates it for a normal person, and that they like getting people who are normal people and aren't super techie, so that they don't, talk the jargon babble, and they can effectively market to their customers. Yeah, I think that happens a lot. All right. Well, I love it. Awesome. And I want to see where you end up, at the end of 6 months of being in the grads group and 12 months into this, because that's my vision. Is it's a 12-month program. But you've blown the doors off so early. So I can't wait to see where this goes as we go into 2020. And thanks
Well,
for
it's great.
speaking
I
with me.
literally never thought I would make this much money in my life being a farmer, so or have the potential to. So,
Well, I am thrilled this program is making it happen.
yeah, me too.
All right, thank you.
Yay!
So I hope you found that inspiring to hear and to know about. And if you're interested in checking out Dent2X Income Accelerator, just check out down below at the buttons and links and go over and see what we cover month to month and see if you think that's something that would help you. Hope to see you in there if that's something you need.